Welcome to JasonWhiskyWise. My name is Jason. Welcome to this whiskey review, and today we're going to be reviewing the Bunnahabhain 12-year-old. So I want to start this one by saying I'm going to be starting a mini-series into Bunnahabhain. I've got 7 of them underneath me right now. So we're going to be doing a whole series into Bunnahabhain, and this one's actually dedicated to one of my patrons called Dwayne Lodge. And I want to say a massive thank you to him for the support on the channel. And this is going to be because one of my tiers is I let people decide what sort of whiskies they'd like me to review on the channel. And he said to me, it's either Caol or Bunnahabhain. And I said to him, you know what? I love Bunnahabhain. I've just been to the distillery and Caol, but I've got all the Bunnahabhains currently. So let's do a full Bunnahabhain week. So we're going to get started with the Bunnahabhain 12. I'll review the 12, the 18, the 25, the Stiuireadair, the 2 travel retails, the Cruach Mhona and the Eirigh. And then I've also got the Ceobanach, and there's also something else which I'm forgetting along the way. And if I can, fingers crossed, I actually might get even the 40-year-old to cover here on the channel, which would be absolutely insane. I love this one on the nose. So Bunnahabhain 12-year-old. It's a 12-year-old whiskey bottled at an ABV of 46.3% ABV. The actual maturation for the cask in this one is a combination of refill, bourbon, and sherry cask. Now, the distillery itself is the Bunnahabhain Distillery. They're owned by the parent company, the Distill International Group, and they're located on Islay, Scotland. And it's actually one of the few places. Actually, I visited all the distilleries on Islay. And this is the one that I had probably the most sort of attachment with, because I just felt when I visited that place, I felt like, you know what, this is the distillery for me on Islay that I just absolutely love. That and Caol were in my top 2. So incredible place. And if you guys get a chance to visit Islay, I really do highly recommend go and check out Bunnahabhain. Now, they do a combination of peated and unpeated whiskey at the Bunnahabhain Distillery. Now, this one actually, in terms of price point, is around about £40 here in the UK currently for the 12-year-old. Is it exclusive? No, as it's core release, and it doesn't contain caramel colouring, as it's one thing you'll see across the whole distill portfolio. Everything is natural colour and non-chill filtered. So without further ado, I really just want to jump straight into the nose. Let's get into the nose of this whiskey. So getting us started on the actual nose of the Bunnahabhain 12. First impressions on the nose. I just love this whiskey so much. It's got a nice, sweet, inviting aroma on the nose. For me, it's almost like a toasted marshmallow, as if you've been sat around a campfire and you're toasting marshmallows. You maybe left one just a little bit more than toasted, and it's got a little char on it, and that burning sweetness really just sort of comes off on the nose of this whiskey. There's a little bit of candied orange peel as well, bringing that citrusy character to the forefront of the nose. Pink lady apples. Hints of lime juice as well added to this one. Not lime peel, none of that bitter character. Lime juice, pear drops, and then there's a dash of almost nutmeg, a little bit of a spicier character coming on. Maybe finishing with a little bit of a touch, of allspice. I really love the nose. This one is just so easy on the nose. Let's get into the palate next. Slanger. So to get us started on the palate for this whiskey, first impressions on the palate, you're greeted by a nice medium full texture. And this is very interesting for a 12-year-old whiskey. It's got a nice body. It develops further on the palate. The longer you leave it on the palate, the richer it becomes. An almost silky sort of mouth-coating character. But it does start out with a slight bitterness and a bitter, spicy character. Maybe dark cloves coming into this one. Hints of blackcurrant, and you're getting now these dry, fruity characters coming through. Juicy raisins, prunes, even a little bit of a nutty character. Salted almonds, hints of marzipan. And then as you go further, it develops this little bit of this maritime character of a salted caramel note. There is that little bit of vanilla coming through, but to me it's like a vanilla icing, where it's not overly sort of like a vanilla essence, but a bit more sweeter and gentle. And I am getting this really interesting appley character. It's like a green apple, but it's almost been like a dried green apple loop, where it just holds itself rather well on the palate. And I'm really enjoying this whiskey. Wow. Let's get into the finish next, and we'll come to our conclusion on the Bunna 12. To conclude the Bunnahabhain 12-year-old, Notes I find on the finish for this one, it's got a nice long finish. For a 12-year-old whiskey, it definitely hits way above its belt. You get this blackcurrant jam really lingering around the palate very well, a hint of allspice, and almost this nutty character like pecans, followed by these dark dried fruits, which I find just complement the character very well. Wow, I can still feel it rolling all over the palate. In terms of my actual rating for this one, it's actually going to be one of the highest rated 12-year-old whiskies I'm going to be giving a score to, and that is an 87 out of 100. For me, this whiskey just embodies exactly what I look for when I look to Bunnahabhain. It's got these nice, rich, fruitier profiles, that vanilla, and at the same time, that maritime character that comes off that little bit of that Eirigh character on this whiskey. It's just got a great overall presence. At the same time, in terms of body for this whiskey, it's got a nice, rich body. It's got great structure, very well balanced as well. You're not getting too much of spice and then too much of something else. You're getting everything that works in harmony. And for me, that is a key to a very good 12-year-old whiskey. In terms of do I think it's value for money at around about £40, I would like to see it a little cheaper. I'd say 35, maybe 32 would be great. But for £40, I would happily pay that. In terms of do I think it needs water? Do I think it needs time? Personally, water, I think, makes it very thin. And for me, I'm not a big fan of adding water to the Bunna 12. But giving it some time in the glass really does open it up and bring out a lot more of these characters, which I really love in this whiskey. And I just can't wait to finish off the rest bit of my glass. So I'm going to do that. I want to leave you guys on that. If you guys have enjoyed, feel free to drop it a thumbs up. And I'm also going to leave some Bunna videos on screen. Be sure to hit my subscribe button if you're new to my channel. And stay up to date with all my latest videos. But this has been me, JasonWhiskyWise, Mr. Bananas. I'll say thank you for watching, and we'll see you for the next video. Slàinte.